Awesome. Well, hi everyone. My name is Morgan Cutter and I am our project manager here at the practice space. And I'm currently in that role by serving an AmeriCorps VISTA term through the Richmond Promise, which is another great nonprofit in the East Bay. So I will also turn it over to Sarah to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Sarah Camacho, and I am fulfilling my role as the College Access Coordinator at the West Contra Costa Public Education Fund through AmeriCorps VISTA.
Awesome. And so today I will be interviewing Sarah just a little bit about her experience as VISTA and about her work through the Education Fund as part of our series called Richmond Gives Back, which is an interview series and live event series we've been doing at the practice space with the goal of highlighting diverse voices and stories of all of the people that live and work in the Richmond area. So we are super excited to have her here today. Um,
Thank you.
and to be part of the interview series. Yeah, so my first question for you, Sarah, would be how did you first find out just about the AmeriCorps Vista program in general and what that kind of looked like for you?
Yeah, so I found out about the AmeriCorps VISTA program a month after I graduated from UC Davis. So I moved back home due to the pandemic. Home for me is Richmond. So my mom was like, you need to start looking for a job. And I'm like, no, I just graduated. So I looked up just positions within Richmond and my surrounding community. And I actually came across the job posting, well, not job posting, but the AmeriCorps Vista program and saw that they had um, a position to fill within Richmond at the West Contra Costa Public Education Fund. And I immediately applied for it.
That's so cool. I just graduated from Cal Poly down south, so we were football rivals with you being
Yeah,
UC
we
Davis.
definitely were.
But that's so fun that you're now able to work in the community that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of motivated you to do your service term with the West Contra Costa Education Fund? I know you'd mentioned that you moved back home after college, and that was part of the reason was you were really at first looking for any open roles in the Richmond area.
Right. Yeah, so basically that's it. I wanted to give back to my community, and I know that the Ed Fund partners with the West Contra Costa Unified School District, which is the district that I completed my preschool to, um, basically preschool to senior year. So um, just staying really connected to not only those within my community, but also other networks in Richmond, in the surrounding cities.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so building more on what your responsibilities look like with the West Contra Costa Education Fund and kind of what you do in that role, what do your day-to-day responsibilities look like?
So my day-to-day responsibilities fluctuate. I have different responsibilities that I have to fulfill every day, such as the Teaching Excellence Awards program that we coordinate here at the Ed Fund, which consists of um, highlighting outstanding teachers within the district and interviewing them, as well as putting together our Soaring to Excellence event where we commemorate our scholarship winners and our Teaching Excellence Award winners. This year we had 4 Teaching Excellence Award winners, and we're going to be having 10 scholarship recipients. As the college access coordinator, I helped the school district with the Cash for College nights, as well as applying for scholarships. So the Ed Fund this year offered 4 different types of scholarships. So I was just kind of like the coordinator for the scholarships this year. And right now, I am really busy calling a lot of families and getting them enrolled and processed to receive a $500 disbursement from the Richmond Rapid Response Fund. And we also have money allocated to support our families within the district from the WCCUSD COVID-19 fund.
Mhm.
So just processing our families that are super in need, that are impacted by COVID. and getting them that $500 disbursement.
That's amazing. I didn't know that you guys were able to offer that to residents right now. What are some of the stories that you've been hearing from families in the community look like in terms of just how COVID has impacted them and what the work with the education fund really means to them that you're doing?
Yeah, so a lot of our families in the district are low income,
Mhm.
Black and Latinx families that have been greatly impacted by the pandemic, losing their jobs completely or just having their work hours reduced, having family members die um, due to COVID, not knowing if they're going to be providing food for their family the next day. I know a lot of our students right now are struggling with working a full-time job as well as trying to complete their studies virtually. So then there's the disconnect between students having that one-on-one help in person that they would get if they were in class with their teachers versus being online and not getting the extra academic support that they need.
Yeah, I know the pandemic has hit so many communities so hard, but it's great to see that just the ways that the Richmond community is able to give back to itself and really support its residents. That's awesome that you guys are
Yeah.
able to help with that. What are some of the stories that you've heard just from collecting those scholarship applications, especially from teachers in the community as well as students, in terms of what their experiences growing up in Richmond have been like and what their hopes are for the future?
So a lot of our students in their scholarship applications really just talk about being low income and being really the future of their family. They're the ones setting the example for their smaller siblings or their other family members who never had the opportunity to go on to college. Um, being a first generation student, having to translate for their parents.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. What do you, I guess, you hope to achieve through your time as an AmeriCorps VISTA? I wasn't sure when your service term started. I know mine was started, I think, in October, but what do you hope to achieve just through this role and working with your community?
Yeah, so I started my service in August of
Okay.
2020, and it'll come to an end. I think it's a year term, so August 2021. I just hope to achieve everything that I've done so far. I mean, I don't really know how to answer that question.
It's tough, and it
Um,
sounds like you've been doing a lot of great work already with getting to help students
yeah,
with that scholarship
yeah,
program and being able to do outreach to families and highlighting teachers in community too.
yeah. Mostly just wherever I'm needed, I provide my help and support, as well as my other team members do the same with me.
Mhm.
But I just basically hope to achieve greatness in the community and really be able to achieve my mission and like goal of trying to give back to the community that I stem from.
Definitely. I think,
Especially, yeah,
oh, go
sorry,
for it.
especially because I can connect with almost every single scholarship application, being low income, first gen, Latina, and having that opportunity to go to college that not many others have
Mhm.
is what I hope to encourage or, connect with students and say that anything is possible.
That's amazing. That was going to be kind of leads into my last question for you, which would be what advice would you give to other young kids in Richmond that are thinking about college or kind of starting to get into where that might be a possibility for them as a college graduate and getting to go to UC Davis? What advice would you give either your younger self or I guess students that are kind of in those couple years where that's something they're thinking about?
Yeah, definitely try and pursue a higher education. Education is the answer to everything. I feel like, especially coming from Richmond, um, I don't know, like you can do it. Anything that you put your mind into, you can achieve. Always think positively, and great things will happen because of your positive mindset. And just coming back to your community after you graduate, you see things much different. You have a different perspective on, outcomes, and you have a different perspective of just like the sense of the community that you came from. Being away for 4 years and coming back, I view everything differently. I now understand why certain systems are in place, or like how certain policies marginalize our communities, or yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, again for being part of our interview series. I really enjoyed getting to hear just a little bit more about your experience growing up in Richmond and now being in a position where you're able to give back to your community through the West Contra Costa Public Education Fund. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Okay.